So the problem with this is when I put the key in, the key won't turn. So one of the pins are actually not working, or maybe a number of pins aren't working. They're probably stuck. I'm pretty sure they're stuck, because what you have to do to make it turn is you have to hit it 7 times. You have to tap it, and then the pins will go in place. But then once you tap it, it'll turn. So what you need to do, already lost the cover of this. It just tore as time went past. Car is what, 13 years old. So there's a screw up here, and another screw here and here. What you need is a Torx screwdriver. I believe it's a Torx T15. So that's all you need, just those 3, a screwdriver, and your key, just to get this working. So here's the ignition. When I cleaned it out, I actually used WD-40, and I sprayed everything. I sprayed in here, I sprayed within the pins, everything. Just be careful when you're spraying it. There's some loose parts, so I would recommend using a white towel, so if anything drops, it's easier to find. The contrast of the color is easier to find. Maybe put a towel on the grass and then I blowed it out with I'd say use a compressor, something strong, so it could blow out all that gunk. Then I wiped it dry, wiped it clean. Now the lubricant for ignitions or any kind of key barrels, you want to use a dry graphite. It's a dry lubricant. You don't want to put anything, you don't want to put grease, you don't want to use a solvent as a lubricant for it. WD-40 is a solvent, it's not a lubricant, so be careful with that. When you put grease or any other wet lubricants in there, it has a tendency to attract things. So things get stuck in there, metal shavings, your pins will get stuck on it. So you want to use a dry lubricant, and I'll show you what that lubricant is. I already cleaned mine, but this is what you need to do. You need to turn it backwards like you're doing accessory on your car, and there's a pin right here. This pin, you need to push it down and it turns. See? So now we're on the back side. Now we're on the back side. See, before it used to be on that side in the lock position. But if you turn this, if you push this down and turn it like you're just turning the accessories on, it'll spin. See how it is right now? Now it comes out. Now the other side is in a lock position. So what you did with the other side, you're gonna do with this side. So once again, it's on the lock position. I'm gonna press it down and I'm gonna turn it, and now the whole thing comes out. Okay, so now this is what the problem is right here. See that metal bar? It goes in all the way when the key's put in, and it goes into this slot right here, and if it doesn't go down, it won't turn. So I already pried these guys off. See these things? I pried them off, and you're gonna have to later hit them down with a hammer to make them stay, and then they have the springs there. Well, that whole bar thing comes out. I'll show you what it is. See, that's it. The springs are in there, and then those grooves in there, there's grooves in there that keep this bar in the lock position, or well, the lock position coming out, or it frees the whole barrel when you turn it as it goes in. One of the pins were stuck, and there was metal shavings, actually the metal from this thing, that was kind of all marred out and messed up, so I sanded it. But let me show you, if I take the key out, all these things just kind of go in place and push this bar out. Pushes this bar out so no one can turn the ignition. Well, anyways, this guy right here was my problem. And I'll show you how to pull it out. So remember this guy that I was telling you that was a problem? Well, he's free now because I actually sanded it. But the way to pull it out is you just get pliers and then yank it out. There's a spring here, so don't lose that spring. I lost one spring earlier, but I ended up finding it. But put this spring aside, and now you probably could see right through this thing. See how you can see right through where I pulled that pin out? In there, if you look clearly, it should be wide open. If it's not open, if it's got like shavings of this this iron or steel, if it's coming out, it's going to be holding this pin in there and it won't move. Another thing is, if your spring's bad, you're going to need to replace it or do something to try to fix it, make it look good. But anyways, what I did is I got this regular sandpaper and scissors. I cut a strip out, strip wide enough for it to go in here. And what I did is I actually went in there, sanded it a little bit, did the other side, sanded it a little bit. It took out some of that gunk, and then what I did too, it takes a little time to, if you double it up, to actually push it in there. But it gets in there, and then I sanded it again. See, it just kind of go, and then, so it took out all that metal shavings. Another thing is I got this piece of sandpaper and I put on a flat surface. Then I got the pin that slides in and out, and I sanded this one as well. I just put on the paper and I just went back and forth. I'll clear that any shavings that might be on here. But after I did that, I put it in, and it works fine now. So I'm gonna put everything back together. Okay, so I got the key in. Here's the bar. I'm gonna slide it in right over. I'm just doing a reverse of what I did. Here's the springs, and here's the other spring. Now remember, the bars that we pried off, they might have actually kind of bent a little bit, so you want to grab your pliers, preferably flat pliers, or the flat area of the plier, and then just kind of squeeze it down, kind of straighten it out a little bit. Okay, and same thing with the other side. The tricky thing is about making this thing stay, because you're gonna have to bang that thing down to make it stay. Hopefully it stays, but here we're gonna do one at a time. I'm gonna get this, try to have it stay in the groove. It's gonna be a little tight, tough, especially if you got big hands. Let's see. Just keeps on popping out. Once you get it in there, you know, get your screwdriver. Try to get that one side in, the one that slides right in. There's a little groove at the end. So if I did it right, and I I think I did the other side. So now I got it in the groove. I'm gonna just get plier. I don't think you need a hammer, and then just punch it in. And see, it stays in. You're gonna do the same thing with the other side. So now we're putting everything back together. First of all, you gotta make sure you put it back right. So here's this piece, black piece. Everything's always just kind of like a puzzle. This one goes in there. I believe it's a switch, and then the ring goes over that guy. Once you got it in, test your key out. Make sure your key still works. Goes in and out. Bam, 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 bam. Everything's working properly. All the pins are going in and out. And then once you got that, tap your ring in again. Little taps, opposite corner. Every time. So it goes all the way down. It's in. See? Easy. Alright, got that part in now. This is going to end up going this way. Remember, you got to put your key in so it slides in. Okay, now it slides. Just turn it. Everything should work. Alright, everything's good. You can put it back in the ignition. So here's the graphite lube. It's that dry powder lubricant that I was talking about. All it is yeah, it's dry lubricant dust. What you want to do is just apply it. I would say put it in your ignition, your barrel, just kind of like that, and then run your key up and down. If you have a problem with your ignition before too, I recommend you try to put this in with the graphite before taking everything out. Sometimes that's all you need. But yeah, just put it in and then run your key up and down. So we got everything installed, back in order. Here is the test. Put it in once, turns on, everything works. Accessories on, everything works. Try it again. Put it in, turn it on. Yeah, good to go. Good to go. Thanks for watching. Have more videos of how to fix things.